Hello, I'm Eric. In this video, we'll be discussing the best treaters for WorkComp in the Northern California region. I've been working with WorkComp cases for several years now, and I want to inform you on who are the best locations to work with that will most likely be within the MPN or medical provider network. Your employer, right? Every employer in the state of California is obligated to pay an insurance premium called workers' compensation insurance, right? And in this video, we're specifically going to be looking at the treaters. One of the biggest portions of a case, right, that will determine the outcome of your injury and how quick you get back to your work, get back to your job, is who you treat with, right? And it's really important to select the best treater. A treater will help you complete treatment recommendations. Each injury is evaluated by a qualified medical evaluator, and this evaluator basically, they're kind of like an appraiser where they evaluate your disability, like how severe your injury is, right? So let's get into the tier list and show you which treaters are the best in your area. The first one, I'll also be showing you guys some details about each evaluator. So the first one that I want to get into in this tier list is Agile Occupational Medicine. I would say Agile Occupational Medicine is a D tier, right? I don't want to be too harsh, but here's a little bit about Agile. Agile does have a good handful of locations. If you're more in this region, they're going to have more locations, but from working with them, they don't really have an e-service, really. It's kind of difficult to work with them. I'm not going to go in too much detail, but I've had very little to maybe none good experiences with them. It's very difficult to work with them, specifically maybe for WorkComp. I can't speak for outside of WorkComp. So the next one that we have is Boomerang. Boomerang is a very popular treater in the WorkComp space. I even have their pen. If we got the Boomerang Health pen, and they're probably the biggest one. How Boomerang came out to be is they are a combination of medical providers, right? They have many locations, and I would say they're kind of the biggest in the area, and they're kind of WorkComp centric, right? So I would put Boomerang at probably A, right? Or maybe even S. Comparatively compared to all the other ones, just because they're the biggest and they're the most WorkComp centric. They're the easiest to deal with, and especially with requesting for authorizations for treatments. They're kind of like Boomerang, I would say, is the white glove kind of service in the WorkComp space. The next one we have is Concentra. Concentra also has a lot of locations, but they probably have more. They probably have the most out of all of the ones that we will see on this list. They have the most locations. But does the most locations guarantee, right, that the quality, right? Does the quality and the quantity really match here? I would say no. Concentra, they don't really have any e-service. They don't have really anyone that you can have direct contact with. You can't even schedule on the phone with Concentra. They only allow you to do walk-ins, so you kind of just have to, kind of go in blind, right, with your eyes covered, letting your clients go into Concentra. So I would put Concentra on as a C tier. The next one we have is Golden State Ortho. Personally, I like Golden State Ortho. They have an ample amount of locations, and they're dependable, I would say. Especially if your clients need surgery, I would recommend going with if your client needs surgery and they're at Concentra, you want to switch them to Golden State. I wouldn't even risk that. So for Golden State, I would put them as an A tier. The next one we have on the list is Kaiser Permanente. Kaiser Permanente, a lot of clients, have records at Kaiser. The only thing that I would say I don't like about Kaiser is that they're just a regular hospital. And if you're working a WorkComp case and you're subpoenaing records from Kaiser doesn't tailor those records. They're just going to dump, the 1,000 records on you. That the client, basically the whole history of the client, they're going to include, blood samples that they took, or, a flu vaccine test or something from 20 years ago that the client had. So Kaiser, I would say they are a C tier. They're just your general thing. I can't really complain about them at all. But for WorkComp, maybe I'll even put them on D tier. Specifically for WorkComp. In the context of medical, treaters in general, I'm just speaking for WorkComp. So the next one is John Muir. John Muir is very this is what the locations kind of look like in the area. They're not going to be in the Bay area. They're kind of just going to be in this kind of the Tri-Valley area. And I don't really have much to say about John Muir. I don't even see any stars or any ratings on here for John Muir. But I would say they're kind of just general hospital. I'm just going to put C tier on them. There's nothing noteworthy coming off of my mind right now. So the next one we have is Remedy Medical Group. Remedy Medical Group is very WorkComp niche. They have, I think it's the two guys there are Adam Stoller and I don't remember the Smallins, right? Adam Stoller and Smallins, they're also evaluators, so they're very familiar with WorkComp and they're very niche. So if you want to help a WorkComp centric treater, Remedy is good. I believe they also do surgery. Yeah, they have a surgery center there. They're sufficient. I like them. They're fine. Not too impressed, but they could improve. The next one I have is NMCI. NMCI is, I would say, NMCI needs the most love out of all of the treaters on this list. Basically because they are very WorkComp centric, right? And basically they'll take your case, whether or not, right, your claim is accepted or denied. That's the great thing about NMCI, is that unlike the other locations we have here, NMCI will take your claim, right, if it's denied, give you treatment, help your client out, and for all that treatment that they did, they will do a lien off of that case, right? So you can start at NMCI for a denied case to get them some treatment, to get some medical report for them for initial evaluation, right, to get the ball rolling, and then maybe you can change them or get a secondary treater to Golden State Ortho or Boomerang, or maybe a Remedy if you need to have some surgery or some extra stuff for your client. So NMCI, I would put S tier. I like NMCI, they're great. So the next one we have is Hercules Wellness Center. Hercules Wellness Center is, they only have one location, but I wanted to mention Hercules Wellness Center because I would say they need some love. And this is their only location, but they're over here in the Richmond area. I mean, well, Hercules, you know, like in the North Bay area. They're pretty good. I just wanted to mention them because I would like to mention them, so I'll put them as a B tier. The last one on the list, we have Tri-Valley Ortho. Now, Tri-Valley Ortho, I probably have, I don't want to be too harsh, but I want to make an example out of Tri-Valley Ortho. So basically, Tri-Valley, a lot of clients end up there somehow for some reason. The main thing about Tri-Valley that I've run into is that they have doctors on the MPN, right? They have doctors, and we usually, for some reason, select those doctors, and they don't have any e-service, so they require paper only. That, I would say, that's the biggest thing, is if you want to be anywhere above C tier provider, right, you have to have e-service, and you can't be paper only. That's probably the, we're in 2025. I think it's it explains itself, right? That if you're a treater, if you're an evaluator working in WorkComp, and you don't have an e-service, and we have to send you all the records, and we have to send you stuff paper, mail it to you, then, we're not going to send clients to you. That's just my recommendation. If, it's a burden to send, for example, if we have to send Kaiser records to you, and we have, 800 Kaiser records, or 800, or maybe even 200 Concentra records, right? It's an extra cost, and if we can't schedule stuff, appointments, if we can't send you records over email, then, right, you're placing the burden on us, and that's not cool. So that is, thank you for watching. This is the 2025 treater tier list. So thanks, and have a good rest of your week.